Supposed recovery starting to stall. For the second consecutive month, employers added scarcely any jobs in June, startling evidence that the economic recovery is stumbling. It's also called dropping the ball. All levels of government shed workers, and hiring by companies continued to slow, resulting in a meager 18,000 new non-farm payroll jobs last month, the Labor Department reported on Friday. The government also revised downward the small gain for the previous month to 25,000 new jobs, less than half the original estimate. Although the government's survey of employers showed a slight expansion in jobs, a separate survey of households found that more people were searching for work than in the previous month, causing the unemployment rate to rise to 9.2% from 9.1% in May. Just to keep up with population growth in the United States, they would need to add more than 100,000 jobs a month every month, not just 18,000. Anyway, economists were stunned. They had been expecting job growth to strengthen in June as oil prices eased and supply disruptions caused by the Japanese tsunami and earthquake receded. Instead, the government's monthly snapshot of the labor market showed that several industries, including construction, finance, and temporary services, shrank. At the same time, leading indicators like wages and the length of the average work week, which tend to grow before employers begin adding more jobs, actually contracted. Even the wild-eyed optimists out there have nothing to grasp onto in this report except to say, this too shall pass, said Joshua Shapiro, chief United States economist at MFR Incorporated. Do they not understand that there's a spiritual side to war or warfare? There's a spiritual side to space travel or the space shuttle's last launch? Yes, there's a spiritual side to everything. And what happens when you go against God's will? Anyway, most analysts are not yet forecasting an outright slide back into recession, but at a time when President Obama and Congress are focused on spending cuts, Europe is in financial crisis, and even China's growth is slowing. There's little expectation of anything other than a prolonged slog for the United States economy. Stimulus is fading, and we still have plenty of problems left over from the popping of the bubble, Mr. Shapiro said. So it's going to be a touch and go, or a very subpar situation for a very long time. The question is a matter of degree in terms of how soft or subpar it's going to be, as opposed to whether it's going to remain that way. No, they just don't seem to get it. There is a spiritual side to war or warfare, to the illegal, immoral Afghanistan and Iraq wars. That's just the way it is, and you can ignore it if you want to, but it will come back to bite you. There will be consequences for all these things. And yes, they're already happening. America is in a lot of trouble. Stock market investors largely shrugged off the bleak labor report as the Standard & Poor's 500 stock index fell less than 1% to close at 1,343.80 on Friday. They have taken comfort in relatively strong corporate profits, aided in no small part by global sales. The discordance between business strength and feeble hiring has raised serious concerns that companies will continue to rely on productivity gains and investments in equipment as opposed to more workers to fuel growth. So, what happens when everything is just about money? Yes, there's a spiritual side to that also. Somehow, the stock market has become detached from reality. Though all the job growth last month came from private companies, which expanded by 57,000 jobs, they have made a striking retrenchment from the average of more than 200,000 jobs a month added from February through April. Their largest gains came from companies in healthcare and leisure and hospitality, while manufacturers, which lost jobs in May, added a mere 6,000 slots in June. Again, the economy needs to add about 150,000 jobs a month just to keep up with normal population growth. The protracted stretch of weak to moderate job creation over the last 2 years has left many of the people who lost jobs during the recession increasingly desperate. There are now 14.1 million unemployed, with 6.3 million of them having searched for work for 6 months or longer, including those who are working part-time because they cannot find full-time work, and those who have stopped looking. The broader unemployment rate is now 16.2%, its highest level since December 2010. Budget strains were evident in the public sector as the federal government slashed 14,000 jobs, and state and local governments cut an additional 25,000. Nearly 3/4 of the job losses at the local level came in education. The Labor Department report gave little hope for a quick turnaround. Temporary help services, which tend to expand before employers hire permanently, fell by 12,000 jobs. And when they stand up, they fall back down again. Yes, this country has dropped the ball. Luke chapter 17, verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. 27. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came, and destroyed them all. 28. Likewise, also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. 29. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven, and destroyed them all. 30. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 6. I listened and heard, but they spoke not aright. No human repented him of his wickedness, saying, What have I done? Every one turned to his course, as the horse rushes into the battle. 7. Yes, the stork in the heaven knows her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane and the swallow observe the time of their coming, but my people know not the judgment of the Lord. 8. How do you say, We are wise, and the law of the Lord is with us? Yes, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes is in vain. 9. The wise men are ashamed. They are dismayed and taken. Yes, they have rejected the word of the Lord, and what wisdom is in them. 10. Therefore will I give their wives unto others, and their fields to them that shall inherit them. For every one, from the least even unto the greatest, is given to covetousness and greediness. From the prophet even unto the priest, every one deals falsely. 11. For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, Peace, peace, when there is no peace. 12. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? No, they were not at all ashamed, neither could they blush. Therefore shall they fall among them that fall. In the time of their visitation they shall be cast down, saith the Lord. 13. I will surely consume them, saith the Lord. There shall be no grapes on the vine, nor figs on the fig tree, and the leaf shall fade, and the things that I have given them shall pass away from them. 14. Why do we sit still? Assemble yourselves, and let us enter into the defenced cities, and let us be silent there. For the Lord our God has put us to silence, and given us water of gall to drink, because we have sinned against the Lord. 15. We looked for peace, but no good came, and for a time of health, and behold, troubles. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 12. The spoilers are come upon all high places through the wilderness. It's time for all prophecy to be fulfilled. For the weapon of the Lord shall devour from the one end of the land even to the other end of the land. No flesh shall have peace. 13. They have sown wheat, but shall reap thorns. They have put themselves to pain, but shall not profit. And they shall be ashamed of your revenues, because of the fierce anger of the Lord God Almighty. Yes, everything is connected, and everything is numbered. It's also called fate or destiny. And all these are more signs of the times, the end times, transition days, which is a continuing, day-by-day process of extraordinary changes, happenings, and events. In other words, everything that must change quickly or rapidly, and for the better, because it's about what kind of world are we leaving to the future generations. The fourth angel is sounding